Project Ryan and Kevin, they're spitting the truth, keeping it real, keeping it orange and blue. Talking recruit, who's next in line? Line our pride, it's about that time. Orange and blue, yeah, that's how we do. Post game vibes, breaking it through. Ryan and Kevin, the crew that you knew. Keeping it fresh, keeping it orange and blue. From the court to the field, every play, every step. Debating the cause where the game is at. Who's rising, who's falling, who's making the cut. Line 9 for life, never stuck in the rut. Okay, recruiting buzzer got the inside line. Post game chatter, they're always on time. Breaking it down, they're the voices you trust. Orange and blue, yeah, they repping for us. Orange and blue, yeah, that's how we do. Post game vibes, breaking it through. Ryan and Kevin, the crew that you knew. Keeping it fresh, keeping it orange and blue, yeah. So tune in, lean back, let the wisdom flow. Ryan and Kevin with the knowledge they throw. Line 9 Nation, this one's for you. Forever proud, keeping it orange and blue, yeah. Orange and blue, orange and blue, yeah. Orange and blue, orange and blue, yeah.
Welcome. Another episode, keeping it orange and blue. Ryan Schroet, joined as always by Kevin Ducey. What's up, Kev?
Hey, not much, Ryan. Weird feeling I experienced this weekend. A feeling I haven't experienced in a very long time. I was very frustrated, through our text. You saw it. Me and Jay Bagan were texting on Saturday. We won the Purdue the Cannon from Purdue, first time since 2002, so 23 years since we've had it back-to-back years. We won by 16 points on the road. We handled the game pretty well, and I was pissed. I was absolutely pissed. Yeah, Jason Rahm is the most pissed I've been on a win. Yeah, and it was a multitude of things, man, and we'll get into that in the show. But hey, listen, I'm really thrilled we won. We're 5-1. Listen, hey, Ryan, you said at the beginning of the season, Illinois' over/under total was 7.5. You felt the floor was 8-4. That really is what the floor is. Looking at it now, you played 6 games. You have 6 left. In those 6 games left, you will be favored in 4 of them. You need to win 3 of them. So it still allows you to stub your toe. I question where we'll be favored against Washington, but hey, we're in a good spot.
I think it's probably more of a toss-up, honestly.
Yeah, it's hey, here we are. We're 5-1. We're 1 game away from being bowl eligible.
Exactly.
It's October 6th? That's October
6th.
October 5th. Yeah. We don't get bowl eligible this early that often, so you got to take it. The reason why is because Brett Bielema has raised the expectations of this program for them to not look that bad. So here we are.
Yeah, and again, and said, I took a day. I was going to make a video and post, on YouTube and X and all that, just because I saw a lot of fans were angry, and I knew you were pissed off, but I always try to put the perspective there, because I understand of being angry about specific things. Trust me, I am not, and we're going to talk about it on the show. I'm not a fan of, how easy our defense gives up big plays at times, but I also take a look around, and I think of other programs. Illinois could be Texas right now. Illinois could be Penn State right now. And let me tell you, Illinois has played a tougher schedule than Penn State, and they're 5-1.
Yeah.
Okay. And Penn State's 3-2. Illinois has played probably just as tough a schedule as Texas. And I want to say it like this because
I disagree. I think Illinois played a harder schedule than Texas.
Okay. So there we go. And Texas is 3-2. How many programs around the country wish they were 5-1, getting to host Big Noon Kickoff again with the number 1 team in the country, with a path to the college football playoff? Because at the end of the day, it's about wins and losses, and every team has flaws. And Ohio State might be one right now that doesn't have as many, but every team has flaws and things to work on. And Illinois, we know what it is. And there's a couple things that maybe annoy us a little bit, like the offensive line. But, where our program is now, I mentioned this on X yesterday. Illinois has been 5-1 3 of the last 4 years, Kevin. When was the last time we remembered that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like normal business now. Well, we're 5-1.
Like the best 2-year window in my lifetime was 89-90. 88, they were like a 6. I think we went 6-4-1 the regular season, lost to Florida in All-American Bowl, Emmitt Smith. 91 was like a 6-5 team. So no, I mean, like, I don't know that we've ever had 3 seasons of 5-1 out of 4 years in my lifetime.
So obviously 3 years ago, Illinois won 8 games, right? Went to the ReliaQuest Bowl, and last year Illinois won 10 games and went to the Citrus Bowl. And this year Illinois is looking at working, if they don't win at least 8 games, playing for 9, or 9 games, playing for a 10th again, 2 years in a row. I think that's where the program's at right now. But so I'm not as angry about it. Like, if you're winning 16 by on the road a game, maybe we should have won by 24 or more, but we only won by 16. You cover the spread by a touchdown. I just can find so many other things to be pissed off about. It's just, man, I used to just be mad because we weren't competitive.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I used to be mad because we weren't relevant. We could go an entire college football Saturday on games where we did beat an average Purdue team or an average or below average Indiana team or below average Minnesota team and not even get a blurb. And now that's not the case. So we're hyper relevant in this world of college football right now, and that's pretty cool.
And if you watched Fox NFL Sunday, how many times did Illinois and Ohio State get talked about today?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was flipping through the different games all day. Illinois, Ohio State, 15 times I saw it.
I was watching the Jets Cowboys games for 5 minutes, and Tony Adams made a tackle, and they said Tony Adams, Illinois safety. And I was like, when do they do that? Like, I don't know. That is cool. That is really cool.
So anyway, finishing that up, Illinois beats Purdue. Let's dive in. They keep the cannon back-to-back seasons for the first time, Kevin, since 2001, 2002.
Yeah, speaking of which, Brandon B absolutely can remember the Kurt Kittner days. The one thing you got to remember about the Kittner days is 99 was a mirage. Like 99 was the season that 99 was a little bit like 22. It came out of nowhere. That team went 8-4. I think the season before that team was like 3-8 team. And then they went 8-4, winning the Micron PC Bowl game against Virginia, beat the dog piss out of them 63-21 down in Miami. And then in 2000, that team was this, and this has some relevance here, Ryan. I think this is the biggest game in Champaign since that Michigan game in 2000. Michigan not stubbed their toe against UCLA at the Rose Bowl. They probably would have brought game day here back then that year. And then Kittner got hurt against Ohio State or somebody during that season, and Illinois ended up being a 5-6 team, and so it went downhill. And then obviously the following year, 10-1, go to the Sugar Bowl, win the Big Ten championship. So they didn't have that 3-5-1 over a course of 4 years. So.
Yeah, no doubt. And I actually kind of liked John Butcher after that. I thought he was pretty solid.
John Butcher was really good. I mean, if you saw my Twitter, I was arguing with people about, and I love Dustin Ward, and I love the entire family. I love his mom. I love his dad. God rest his soul, his dad, like his sister. Like, they're great people. But we could talk about it. Butcher should have been playing Ward, shouldn't it? But whatever. Let's move on.
Yeah,
we got other stuff to talk about.
You know, one thing I do remember about that, Kevin, we'll jump into it. They put it on the ticker on ESPN. Illinois announces Dustin Ward is their starting quarterback. I remember seeing that, and I remember just going like this. What?
Scott Weaver playing over Johnny Johnson for those older guys.
Yes. So I'm a big Johnny Johnson fan. The first quarterback that I ever saw play, I was 5 or 6, 93. I remember watching him play, and I was like, I like this guy, man.
Mine was Jackson, so yeah.
So let's start with this. Illinois won. So you know what we're going to start with? We're going to start with the really good things from Saturday that we saw, which I think matters. So besides Illinois holding the cannon back-to-back years for the first time in 23 years, it's also always amazing to get another Big Ten road win, right? Can't take those for granted. Bielema's been making that a habit here of late. But so I'll start. What I really enjoyed seeing was just the response from the team really to get go of being down 7-0, and Illinois putting up. Well, how many points did they put up? 27 in the second quarter.
Something like that. 24,
Yeah.
24, I think.
Yeah. So 24 points in the second quarter. Illinois scored to have no momentum, right? And you could tell. I knew Purdue would move the ball a little bit. We knew Ryan Brown, right? I saw him move the ball on Notre Dame. That they moved the ball on Notre Dame. He had a good game passing against Notre Dame yards wise. I knew that would happen, but I knew Illinois was going to have to score to win the game. So a big response in the first half to go up 27-14 into halftime. But really after the big long touchdown right before the half to go down and kick a field goal and get the momentum back, knowing you're going to win the middle eight.
Right.
The middle eight really decides a lot of games, and Illinois won that for sure. And I think too, Hank Beatty's really putting himself, Kevin. He's ascending, I think, into the upper echelon of the Big Ten. He's second right now, behind Mekhi Lemon in yards, and which means he's above Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, and those guys do take yards from each other. But yeah, so Hank Beatty.
They don't play many fourth quarters either.
Yeah, Hank Beatty, 586 yards this year,
putting him on a pace just shy of 1,200. That's pretty awesome.
And Luke Altmaier, career game. I think he could have easily had over 400 yards, Kev.
Yeah.
One of the things you were kind of, as we get into the bad, didn't really throw the ball much in the fourth quarter. And so really, I think he could have easily had probably 434 to the 450. He could have thrown the ball a little bit more, but I think it was more of Illinois trying to milk it. So those two, obviously, for me, stood out. Just Luke and Hank. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the good you can't start anywhere other than Luke Altmaier, right? 19 of 22 for 390 yards. That's 17 yards per attempt. That's incredible. 17 yards per attempt. By the way, he's 19 for 22. If you brought on Justin Bowick on this show, he'll tell you he needs to catch that ball. Like, you can't body a ball with what you call body a ball, catch the ball with your body. You can't body a ball with a defender on your back. You got to hands it. You got to get your hands out and catch the daggone ball. And then Khalil Valentine, oh my goodness, Khalil, you can't drop that pass. I'd love to see the all 22 of that, because from my vantage point of watching on TV, I think Khalil could have gone somewhere on that one. Like, anytime you get 5 in space, you know you can make the first guy miss, and you make this first guy miss, anything can happen. So
he was he was too worried about what his first move was.
Absolutely. So you have a quarterback who could have went 21 to 22 very easily. Now, granted, Hudson Clement bailed Luke out on one throw, but Luke was phenomenal.
What a catch from Hudson on that one, huh?
It was. But here's the thing. Yes, a lot of guys were wide open. Yes. Luke threw. Now, when a quarterback throws a body ball, understand this is something different than when a wide receiver bodies a ball. They're two different things. Luke threw 2 body balls. One was to Beatty. He scored a touchdown on it. And another one was to Ashton Hollins, which he ripped off a 50-yard play. That's intentional by Luke. When a wide receiver is that open and quarterbacks are taught, put it on them immediately so that they can make sure that you get the catch. The last thing you want to do is overthrow a guy there trying to lead him, and you get an incompletion. So Luke had a lot of wide open throws, but he had a lot of really good throws. Great one to Colin Dixon on a slant route. Great catch by Dixon. Slipped a tackle. It was impressive. But, dude, the 2 balls, the sideline balls he threw to Beatty, the 49-yard one that got us down to the 1-yard line, and the one to Colin Dixon were absolutely dropping balls in the bucket. So, my good has to start with Luke Altmaier. Hank Beatty, phenomenal after the catch. The guy is showing that he is, first of all, he is so tough. I'm just super impressed with that young man. And then if I'm looking on the defense, I think Brandon Lampy, he beat me to it. JoJo Hayden, Angelo McCullum were really good on the defensive side. And
we might be bringing up some of these guys in our Champaign toast as well.
Absolutely. I thought those 2 guys played phenomenally well. So those are the things I was pleased with. And I know that people are really mad about our run defense. And granted, our run defense looks a lot different if Matt Bailey takes a different route. maybe forces that guy inside, and the run defense wasn't that good. But the run defense this year hasn't been as bad. It's been more so the pass defense. But we can get into the bad in a little bit. So
yes, yeah, we're about to dive into the bad, but it can't be. I'm not meshing that into the good because
Bill Moe, if he leads Hollins there and he overthrows him, it's an incomplete pass. He's taught to throw a body ball there, and we picked up 50 yards. No pass play where we pick up 50 yards is a bad pass. You're taught to body a guy. Quarterbacks are taught, do not lead a guy when you're that freaking open. Do not lead him. Body him. Let him go.
And I'm gonna be honest, I missed the Bowick drop, which I must have not been watching.
I think it was the flea flicker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was the flea flicker, and it hit Bowick. Bowick tried to catch it in his chest. He had a guy draped right on.
Yeah, that's right. He did have a guy on him though, but yeah,
he puts his hands out and catches that ball. It's fine. So
yeah, yep. Now the situation, to where and I understand. We're going to get to, I try to say good, bad, right? Highs, lows, however you want to say it. I would say I'll say it, the defense clearly, yards per game are getting worrisome. So I'm going to try to word this the right way. So the bad from Saturday, I'm just going to keep it for that for right now. The bad from Saturday's win. Obviously, there was really not much bad offensively other than Kev. I guess I'll go ahead and say, why did Illinois stop letting Luke Altmaier throw the ball, right? We'll talk about that. Why, your take, why do you think they stopped having Luke throw it really late in the game? I felt like they were just trying to milk the clock pretty much.
I think it's just the way that this staff operates, man. I think that this staff operates in such a hyper-conservative mode that they're sitting there thinking, hey, let's just lean on this run game that was terrible. Like, the run game was bad. The offensive line was not getting the push. I don't think the offensive line played well. I know Jason Ron said I thought the offensive line played really well in pass pro. All right, there's two sides to an offensive line. I didn't think we got any push up front.
I would say Khalil Valentine had a nice game, though, running the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. And it was just, man, it just felt like we weren't getting any push there. And my biggest thing with the offense, so as a coordinator, as a head coach, the reason you don't throw the ball when you're up is because you're worried about clock management. You're worried about incompletion, stopping the clock. Well, I just covered it. The guy should have been 21 of 22. Should have been 21 of 22. If your guy's 21 of 22, is there really that much worry for incompletions against a really bad secondary? Everybody gears up to stop Illinois and stop the run because they think that's what Brett Bielema is about. So, and I'm not saying we got to run up the score on a coach's respects, but dude, you can make things actually easier on your defense and make us sweat a little less if you get up 50. If we got up 51 to 21 or whatever, like it would have been easier for our defense could have just, and then we could run the clock out. So I was frustrated with that. I was really frustrated with the lack of push that we're getting from our offensive line. And then I was really, really frustrated with how vanilla we were in our coverage schemes. Ryan Brown threw 20 incompletions. I bet you 10 of those guys were open. 10 of those guys were open. And I don't know if we're scared to try and man guys up. We can man guys up with some cover two over the top, throw some different looks at them. I really expect Coach Henry to do that this week. I love Aaron. But I honestly, like, one of the things we probably overestimated, and I had a picture up earlier of Keith Randolph in the back, and I wrote an article on 200 columns, one of the few that I wrote, of how excited I was for the 2023 season because of how impactful I thought Keith Randolph and Johnny Newton would be. And Johnny Newton's been a decent pro. And I thought that Keith Randolph was a pro, and he struggled to make a team. It was just like, who do we have on this defense that is a surefire NFL football player right now? I think we have one. I think there's a lack of talent. I think there's a lack of speed. And I think we're getting exposed there a little bit. So we got to get a little bit creative in our schemes. So
I think Jaheim Clark will be.
Jaheim Clark definitely has a possibility. I do want to go back to one quick second. Bill Moe, we won the middle 8, 14, 17, 17, 7. 20-7. So we won the middle 8, 20-7. So just heads up.
So I will say this now, and we can talk about it for a few minutes. It's a big deal here. Illinois.
One interception this season. Tanner Eckel. Yep, exactly, Jason. One interception. We don't even break passes up.
Jaheim Clark's been lately. He had a big one on 4th down against USC. Yep. He's the thing. He's long and he's athletic. That's the thing here. And Illinois, I think Zane Scott's a guy they really like, and if he's coming through, I think Andre
Lovett III.
Andre Lovett's going to be a guy that they're going to really like. He's a little bit bigger than Cox, and Taiwan Cox too. By the way,
isn't he out for the year?
Yes, he is. I'm talking about future coming forward. These guys are going to be replacing and taking over. So I'll start with you. How worried are you about the defense right now? Because and look, at the end of the day, Aaron Henry's a great guy. I mean, it's not about what kind of guy they are. It's not about what kind of man they are. I can tell you this. Bart Miller, I think, is a great guy. It doesn't have anything to do with how his offensive lines really just haven't progressed, right? He's not progressing players. You know, they come in pretty good. You know, they may have already been good before they got here. And, you know, Isaiah Adams, I think, was good before he got here. And Illinois, maybe he got a little bit of a push because of the spotlight he was in. And maybe the schemes that Bielema and things adjusted to. And Barry Lundy's offense helps. But I can't sit here and say I'm a big Bart Miller fan, but it doesn't mean he's not a great guy. So how worried are you about Illinois' defense? They sit, I think, 15th or 16th in the Big Ten in yards per game. If you look them up, if you look it up right now, I think they're giving up almost 400 yards a game. Points wise, Illinois' points per game tally in the Big Ten right now is 40 points per game, and of course 63 from Indiana is going to jade it a little bit, but you also gave up 32 to a good USC team.
A very good offensive USC team.
Very good USC team, and then a good Purdue offense. So a mixture of you've played 3 of the best offenses, and you're going to get another one. Let's keep it real, Kev. The first 5 games of the Big Ten slate, Illinois is playing some high-powered offenses. You know, there's no cupcake offense in there. If you really look at it, like Purdue may be the worst of the bunch, but if you look at you look at Ohio State, Washington, USC, and Indiana, where they are in offenses, I'm pretty sure they're all in the top 6 or 7, right?
I mean, yeah, you look at this. I mean, Luke Altmaier, and this is to his credit, is the number 5 efficiency rated quarterback in the nation. Number 5, 189.68. Fernando Mendoza's 2. Jaden Maeva's 4. Julian Sands 3. Right? We played 2, we played 4, and then we got 3. Like, now, granted, I don't know where Brown ranks. He certainly doesn't rank that high from an efficiency standpoint, but I think they were so worried about his legs. It'll be interesting. So they're missing tackles. I think I have not seen Matt Bailey play a good game in a while. I haven't seen Matt Bailey play a good game this year, I don't think. I was frustrated with Matt Bailey's route on that tackle for the long run. You have to force that running back to go inside. And, yeah, he may be playing hurt, Brad. That could be something to it.
He is playing hurt, but at the end of the day, if you're costing the team because you're hurt.
Right. Well, Sabor Kareem's stepping up. Mac Resetich is a guy we all counted on, isn't playing. One of the things I think we missed an opportunity to do, and this is the opportunity that you get if you put 55 on somebody, is put Vernon Woodward in there, put Andre Levet in there, put some of these younger guys in there and see what they can do. So, you know, I know that everybody's frustrated, especially at the end of the half. We run a corner blitz. We run Jaheim Clark, and they get the big touchdown play. Yes, it's a missed assignment, but I really think the design there is like we're trying to cut down on any kind of read option and take away. So one of the things that happens as a read option on a defensive end is as the quarterback reads, he's reading the defensive end, and if the defensive end crashes in on the back, the quarterback keeps it, and so then it's up to a linebacker to scrape and come over the top, and it puts pressure on a linebacker or a secondary member to get off a block to be able to tackle the quarterback. Well, if you run a cornerback blitz, the defensive end then has no read. He is simply taking the back, and it makes things a lot easier because you got the corner coming. That's what I think we were trying to prevent there. and either Miles Scott took a horrible route or Bailey or Strain. One of the three of them blew a missed assignment there. Miles Scott was looking at Bailey there. He's got to get back. So you just got to clean a lot of this shit up. And it's a little bit frustrating when you've got guys experiences 10 and 7 back there that aren't playing well. That they're not. Listen, you can understand if they're missed assignments is just bad. So what I do expect this next week, and we'll talk a little bit more in the preview, is I think Illinois has to mix up coverages a little bit. I think we got to get a little bit more exotic. And so we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah.
Now, to me, as you mentioned, I think defensively, they've played really good offenses, which I understand. But I think when you're just the thing that drives me nuts, Kevin, I think it's the thing that drives a lot of people nuts. How many 3rd and 10s, 12s, 14s, 15s has the defense given up? This,
way too many. I mean,
that's the inexcusable stuff. Like,
yeah. And I think I wish they'd have had a spy on Brown on that one where he ran for 17 on 3rd and 14. I wish they would have spied him or something there. Obviously, hindsight's 20/20.
And then at the end of the game, right? What is it? Odaluga misses a big tackle, right? It's like get them off the field. They're going to punt right there. But he goes full force like a bull in a china shop, just trying to spear the guy instead of let the guy catch it, and you can just tackle the guy right there instead of like I want to beat the guy to him catching the ball. So that's what happened, and he's catching it as simultaneously Odaluga is trying to spear him like Goldberg out there, and he just Olay, and then it's a first down. So and then what happened again on 4th down conversion? Odaluga missed another tackle. Yeah. It's like just be sound, be fundamental, be competent. And Tony has a great point. I think if Illinois defensively doesn't have to be great, they don't even have to be good. If they can just be an average to competent defense to end the year, I think 9 wins is I feel pretty good about it. Like I feel pretty confident. But if they can be good and take a step in that bye week, and here's the thing. Illinois is really good, and Brett Bielema is really good coming out of a bye week. Yeah. So coming between Ohio State and Washington is a bye week. I would be shocked if they don't make some sort of adjustments in there defensively.
I think they've got something up their sleeve for some defensive adjustments to throw some wrinkles at Sand this week. I really do. I think. We haven't run much man in a couple of weeks. I think you're really.
Against Tate and Jeremiah Smith.
What you can do is you can roll coverage over the top for those guys, right? Like you can run man zone concepts, right? You can run a man under with cover 2 over the top or cover 1 over the top. You can do some of that stuff and rotate it to Jeremiah Smith's side. Another concern that I have, man, is just frankly the offensive line is like we and this goes back to why we didn't throw. We ran the ball 41 times at 2.9 yards a carry. That's not good enough. Let's figure out a way to run the ball more effectively. We did it against USC. Why couldn't you do it against Purdue? Was Croots that big of a deal? And then to go back to that point, Ryan, if I paid you $3 every time you did something and I paid you $17 every time you did something else, which one would you do more of? Well, no, we did the one that we got $3 off of 41 times, and the one that we did $17 off of 22 times. Listen, I think Illinois will probably throw more on first down this week. I would like to see some of that because I think it's going to be important. But man, it's just there's some frustrating aspects on both sides of the ball for me. Really frustrating.
Yeah, and while they didn't grade out very well, when you put up nearly 500 yards of offense, in back-to-back weeks, it's hard to really it's hard to complain. Mm-hmm. But the offensive line didn't grade out well in PFF. Like the only one that even made into the 60s, Kev, was J.C. Davis.
Yeah, and I'll argue with Nathan. I'll argue with Nathan Durst on this. Passing offenses absolutely allow you to control the time of possession when you don't throw incompletions. So,
yeah, and yes, and Altmaier's doing that. I think he has a lot of. It's going to be really interesting too because Caleb Downs, is one of the best defenders in the secondary in all of college football. I'm sure he'll be on Hank Beatty, but quite a bit. But Illinois has shown they've got weapons out there. I mean, Bowick showed what he can do. Colin Dixon has been a more than proven commodity. He makes tough catches. He's got good size, and I think we've also seen now Ashton Hollins get into the mix, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Hudson Clement has shown what kind of hands he's got.
And Jason Romberg's a great point. Is like the center Kreutz is the communicator on the offensive line, and not having him that hurts. So
yeah, okay.
And Dathan Durst, I'm not. Ohio State's offense is good. They have a little bit of fluky stats out there. If you look at Ohio State, like granted they played a very good Texas defense, Their offense is not it's their defense. Their defense is the best in the country, and I don't think it's particularly close.
What did you make of what they did to Minnesota last night? Because Minnesota, I will say this. Minnesota I don't know how good they are really, because Rutgers has a decent offense, had to put up 28 on them. California beat them 27-14, which we saw Duke just absolutely demolish Cal.
Yeah, I mean I jumped on it. I jumped on it with Matt. I don't know if I should have. Like Minnesota is a little bit of fool's gold. I don't think they're that good.
Yeah, they have a young quarterback too, right? Drake Lindsey.
Drake Lindsey. I don't know about Minnesota. Like they still, I don't know who they are.
And that Washington game again, it was. I know we went back and forth about it on a text, but Washington kept it pretty close. They did. I think it was 11-point game in the fourth quarter, and it was even closer than that.
Held them to 350 yards, but at the same time, Ohio State held that Washington offense to 234 yards. I mean, I guess we're
Maryland did a pretty good job last night until the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Well, hey, there's a reason. Ryan, should we get into the Champagne toast, or should we really just start breaking down this Ohio State game now?
Yeah. Let's do. We're going to get into Champagne toast. We're not really off schedule. We've only been on here at 32. So we'll do some Champagne toast, and then we'll get to a little bit of preview and some. Well, I'll let you start, Kev, with you're going to go offense or defense first.
I'll go offense.
All right, go ahead and go.
Luke Altmaier. I said it last week, Ryan. You cut the clip, you put it out there. Now it's funny. I'm hearing other podcasts talk about it. He's the best quarterback I've ever seen at Illinois, and I'll stand on it. And I know people want to stand up and say Kurt Kittner, and I know the game's changed a little bit. The guy's completing 70% of his passes this season. I mean, well over 70%. His efficiency rating he's going to set the school record for efficiency rating. Granted, he stays healthy and the season continues. We've got to keep him upright. So 1,500 yards, almost 1,600 yards through 6 games. That's on pace for almost 3,200 yards. I think 3,100 is the school record for a single season, 24 touchdowns. 27 is the school record. That's another reason why I kind of just wanted us to throw a little bit more. It's incredible what he's doing. And he deserves all the flowers. And I know Hank Beatty had a great week, and Luke Altmaier, in my opinion, would have been the Big Ten Player of the Week, even with 1 touchdown, had Nico Maeva not gone out and scored 5 touchdowns in an upset win over Penn State. So my Champagne toast is to Mr. Luke Altmaier.
Yeah, totally agree. And also Hank Beatty was a half a yard away from getting that second touchdown.
He was. Yeah, it was
he
real
tripped up and fell straight, instantly to the half-yard line. I'm thinking, man. And I'm actually glad that we did discuss that last week. And now other podcasts are copying the whole, is Luke the best quarterback? I mean, it's a great discussion, because Kittner was the best until, possibly now. And before Kittner, even with Kittner, many people thought it was Jeff George. But
the Kittner was great, but if you go look at his numbers, he had multiple games in 2001 where he was sub 50% passing completion ratio, sub 50%, and that dude had 4 NFL wide receivers on that team.
True.
So it's.
Do you imagine Luke Altmaier with that right now?
No.
Yeah. So Yeah. So with you going, I'm actually, Beatty, it's not going to go low hanging fruit because how amazing he is, but we've given it to him a couple of times. I'm going to go Khalil Valentine. I think 95 yards rushing, over 4.3 yards a carry. Yes, he had a big one for 25, but man, I was watching the replay today. He had 6 or 7 nice big runs of first down of over 6 yards that were first down runs. He had a couple that he got stopped within 1 or 2 yards and hit the line, and him kept driving and pushing him over. He without Tanner Arkin tripping him up and tackling him inside his own 10, he would have had another touchdown, by the way. Tanner Arkin had a rough game Saturday, so I'll give him some grace, and hopefully he can push forward to Saturday against Ohio State, where he's blocking the other team and not tackling his own players. So Khalil Valentine, I think Brett Bielema mentioned in his post game, he told Khalil, like, hey, you're going to have a career game today, man. You're going to break one. He did both. Khalil Valentine and Hank Beatty deserves all flowers that anybody can give him. But I think Khalil Valentine deserves it. He had a great game besides the drop, Kev.
Yeah, no, a great game for Khalil.
So for defense, a name we mentioned earlier, but I really loved what I saw from him. Angelo McCollum, a sack, and then another TFL, I think.
Sack and a half.
He got a half sack with Gabe Akis on the other one on Brown. So, man, what I like about him is his fluidity off the line is like he doesn't get caught up in that and he's not allowing the offensive lineman to grab his pads, if you notice. Like, how is he able
strong. He's strong.
Yes. I've heard that. He's one of the strongest guys on the team. So, so he's just fluid. And, man, it showed. So I think we're going to see more of him. My defensive toast, Angelo McCollum.
Right on. And I said it as well. Mine's going number 30. Jojo Hayden out there sticking fools, stunning guys at the goal line. He is just got some instincts at linebacker. I think we're going to see more of JoJo Hayden. I love what Malachi Hood could provide, but listen, sometimes guys I think Malachi Hood is a really smart kid. I think he gets caught thinking and not just reacting. I think JoJo's the type of player playing at high level football where he played out of East St. Louis is just a read and react kind of guy. And he's tough and he hits like a hammer and he's fast. And he's built like a bowling ball. So and he's our guy. So JoJo Hayden, my Champaign.
That stick at the goal line, Kev. Oh my goodness.
And then hey Ryan, we could just all agree. Guy goes 5 for 5 on field goals.
5 for 5. He better be the special teams player of the week again.
9 for 9. David Alano, Mr. Automatic.
I mean, think about that though. He better be the special teams player of the week, Kev.
Yeah, I mean the guy scores 19 points. He should do that. So.
Yep. All right. So. Now let's do it. We're gonna go a little preview of Ohio State here for about 5 minutes. I think one thing that we all know, obviously tons of talent, tons of 5-star kids on this.
Hey, let's stop real quick, dude. Ryan, second time in 3 weeks we get a national broadcast at our house, at the House of Pain. Let's go, dude. That's awesome. That is now. Granted, there's a lot of people. Hey, we ever going to get game day? Listen, there's no way you can slice and dice it and say that Oregon, Indiana isn't the bigger game of the weekend. It just is. You got two top 10 teams playing. Now, granted, the one hope that I had that I was holding out is they went to Oregon, Penn State week before last. But listen, big noon twice in 3 weeks. Too bad Matt Leinart won't be here for it. But wish you the best, buddy.
Why won't Matt Leinart be there?
I think he got arrested and stabbed in Indianapolis.
Mark Sanchez.
Sanchez. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm switching my guys around there. That's right.
Sanchez, if you read the police report.
I'm switching my guys around. That's my bad.
I was about to say, don't put Matt Leinart in all that, man.
Hey, they're USC quarterbacks. One's right-handed, one's left-handed. It's all right.
Yeah, he like replaced John David Booty, who had replaced Matt Leinart. So
that's right. My mistake. I switched my USC quarterbacks around.
Yeah, so he'll be back, and guess what? We all know they're all going to pick Ohio State because nobody's got cojones, man. They're going to pick Illinois.
I'm going to pick Ohio State. What are you talking about, dude?
Come on, let them hang, Kev.
Our defense sucks ass right now. Our offense is really good, and we're playing the best defense in the country. Like, it is a bad matchup, Ryan. This is a horrible matchup. This is horrible. I'm drinking water, Nathan Durst. I'm dry, buddy.
See, this is what we get when he's dry, though, Nathan.
No, I'm thinking Ohio State, dude. Like, this is a bad matchup. We gotta pull out all the turnover fairy dust. All
turnovers. We got turnovers. We've got obviously some trick plays. I think are going to be in the works.
We got to get exotic as hell on defense. Like, we got to throw shit at them they haven't seen all season.
Yeah, true. But also, guess what? Being fundamentally sound and making tackles when they're there is going to be helpful.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
No, and being smart and disciplined in the penalty portion of the game. That's the only way you compete in these games and can win. You don't if Illinois get given up, getting personal fouls and like 3 or 4 false starts, that's not going to work.
Yeah, and they got to find a way to pressure Sand, right? They got to get in his face a little bit. And like I said, with some exotics, listen, our guys are going to be up for this game. And no matter, like, we talked about it, yes, I do think there was a little bit of, I think they were sluggish. You get Krutz back. My understanding, if we played Ohio State last week, Krutz probably plays.
Yeah, he was fully dressed and like laughing and like jumping up and down when they scored. I'm like, what the hell? You want to get him rested. And also another thing, Lawfree, is his ankle going to be healed? Is he going to be ready? Can he play at all? I think I've heard that he had some swelling coming back after the USC game. So, but yes, winning the turnover battle has to. You mentioned the turnover fairy. Illinois needs at least 2 of them. You got to get 2. You got to get those plays. Also,
you got to keep special teams huge. Yeah, special teams.
Teams. You got to have Crimmins keeping them inside the 20 and Alano. If you need to pull, if Illinois gets in the field goal range for anywhere near the 40, I think let Alano give it a boot.
I also got to keep Luke upright. Got to keep Luke upright. They have Caden Curry gets after the quarterback, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles. These guys are studs. Caden McDonald, he might have been the guy that went out and got hurt against Minnesota, but I think he came back in the game. We got
Bo Jackson. They do have a very young running back. Bo Jackson has emerged for them lately. He is good, but he's young, along with Sand. So. Getting pressure on him is key too to make him uncomfortable. I guess he's thrown 3 interceptions this year. I know he's been very accurate of late. Against Minnesota, he was great. He was really good when he needed to be against Washington. I think it was only 7-3 at halftime. I'm just keeping that real. It was Ohio State 7, Washington 3 at halftime. So it wasn't like it was some big blowout there, and like they just were all over Washington. I think defensively in the second half they smothered them more. Yeah. They also gave up a big 25-yard it was literally just they ran 3 wideouts deep to the end zone, and literally they all just started blocking the Washington secondary, tight ends as well, and literally just dropped it over the middle to Jeremiah and let him do his thing with his special talents. And that's how they scored one of the touchdowns in the second half that really helped them extend the lead. It wasn't anything special. It was just, guys, get out here and block for him, and he's going to go make a play.
Yeah, it's like, Lindy said, what's up, my brother? Appreciate you chiming in. We're going to have to win the turnover battle by 2. I agree with that. Red zone, you got to score. You got to do everything perfect. You might need a pick 6. You might need a blocked punt. You're just going to need some things to break your way, and you're going to have to pressure a young quarterback. We're going to need to get loud. He's experienced Washington. We can get as loud as we want. We can't get as loud as Washington. They've got that stadium, the way it hangs over, it just holds in sound. I think it's like a top 5 or 10 loudest stadium in the country. The most points they've given up all season is 9 to Ohio. Like, we're going to
Kev, I'm going to say this. We're going to break that, though. We're going to break it this weekend.
Well, God, I should hope so. We're certainly the best offense they played, but like, is it? Yeah, I think we've got to just get super, super exotic and figure out a way to. We got to put shit on. We got to put shit on the field that they haven't seen on tape. Like, there's gonna have to be some things that we haven't done all year.
I want it to be able to get a couple of us to hoist Brett Bielema up after this game. Couple of us, Kev, not one.
How's your back feeling, bro?
I just want to be able to do that. Like, think about this. Can you imagine 17-20, 17-17, getting a Lano 55-yarder walk-off?
I think a lot of people are saying the same things. Like, we've got to figure out a way to just, like, force a fumble here, force a pick there, capitalize on it, pick six, scoop score.
I got you, Linda. I got it.
And if you do that, you can change the tide and momentum. And then you got a freshman quarterback on the road, and he could play tight and make some mistakes. And that's what I mean. You got to get exotic. We got to show stuff he hasn't seen before. He's a good player. I don't think he's that good. So it's and you know what? I think the best chance we have to beat them is because I'll be there.
I'm not picking up Brett if he's holding one of his daughters too. That's not fair. We're not doing that. By the way, I love that he always does have his daughters and his girls. It always reminds me of you, Kev. Like him and his two girls. Always, every time I see him. So, Forrest Fritz, Illinois is not losing by 30. They're not giving up 50. They're not giving up 50. Ryan Day doesn't like to do that. He doesn't like to run the scores up like that. 42-3 was, and by the way, 42-3 was with them playing their backups most of the fourth quarter, by the way. Minnesota still couldn't do anything with them. So that whole fourth quarter, I think the last 10 points they scored were 14 points they scored, pretty much backups.
Yeah. It is an orange out. It is an orange out. So get your orange on. Go rock your orange. Make sure that happens if you're going. So
let's talk a little bit about our tailgate though before we get to final thoughts.
Absolutely.
So we're in lot 31, right, Kev?
Yeah, I don't know exactly where we'll be yet. So we will be in lot 31. I will be there early. Lyndon Leshen there may be helping me out, figuring out how we're going to do this stuff. I got some other buddies that are going to come in and assist me with how we're going to get everything set up. But I'm going to be there as early as possible to get set up. I got my brother making his world famous pulled pork. I'm going to scramble some eggs, bring some tortillas, some cheese, and we're going to make some pulled pork breakfast tacos. So,
okay.
Yeah, bring like by all means bring some beer if you're going to swing by. If not, we'll probably if you're going to have one, we'll have one. But if you're like me, you need 3 or 4 after you've had one to bring your own, and bring some food if you like. Come on by. So
Barry might show up. It just depends on if he feels like
I haven't seen that dude on here much at all.
Barry comes in once in a while. Barry jumps in here once in a while. He's like, "Hey guys,
I'm over here on Amazon. I'm over here on Amazon looking for orange pants for men because I'm gonna go orange head to toe. This was the hat I will be wearing. So orange.
So you're oranging it out. Is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I might break out the blue pants. Who knows? So
yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'll wait for final thoughts. And Kev, if you don't have your final thought, I already kind of have one lined up. So I'll start there. I'm super excited. So I'm excited though for our tailgate. Hope to see all of you guys there. Anybody who watches the show, we do appreciate you. Keep subscribing on YouTube, folks, if you haven't already. We do appreciate you doing that. And man, just this show is just it's bigger and better than I thought it ever would be. And again, we appreciate everybody who comments on here, and even you. No, the guy that likes to tell me about the Cowboys every game.
Shawnee Garner.
Shawnee Garner, yeah, you. And tell me about the Commanders. All right, so my final thought is, it sounds like, Kev, the Illinois players, and they might be trying to sneak out those Red Grange jerseys for this weekend, Kev.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they're trying to bring the Galloping Ghosts back, possibly. So,
all right.
And if they don't do that, I don't expect the same blue, orange from them this weekend. If it's an orange out, I'm really
they're going orange bottoms, orange tops, dude.
Yeah, they're going to have all orange if they don't do the Galloping Ghost jerseys. But I've been told the players are trying to get Bielema to okay it because of good luck from last year. Plus, it's a big game. Everybody's going to be watching. Everyone's going to be watching this game. All the other big games aren't until 2:30 or 6:30. This is the game people are going to be watching. So it's going to have 4 to 6 million people watching this game.
And the college football world are
yes.
Illinois fans at 11 Central Saturday. The entire college, unless you're from Ohio State fan, you're rooting for Illinois.
Yeah, so this is where the college football universe is going to be eyeballing is in Champaign. So they're wanting to put those jerseys on display. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. But either way, I'm going to love those all orange jerseys. They've been pretty good luck for them as well, too. So that's my final thought.
Get loud. Like if you're going to the game, get loud. Like I was a little bit disappointed with our willingness to bring the crowd noise on every single play that Michigan had the ball, and just get loud as you can be. Like we've got to learn how to fan. So let's get loud, push the volume up, bring everything you've got. Oh, by the way, and if you can't make it before the game, it's an 11 a.m. kickoff. I probably will not be leaving. I will probably not be leaving lot 31 till the sun goes down. Let's just be real here. Like I'll be there all day. Come kick it. Come hang out. Whatever. So,
yes, and agree with that. As Kev's saying, get to the stadium from your tailgate before 11.
Yeah, don't do what I did. Now, granted, I know some folks I go to like one home game a year, and last year I left my tailgate because it was hurting cats, dude. I left my tailgate too late, and it took me way too long to get to my seat. So, I'm gonna make sure that we get in the stadium earlier. So,
yes, but
wait.
Go ahead. No, you're
Lindy. We were big noon first USC, bro. So.
We're not getting smoked every time it's a prime game. I was about to say, hold on now. You just forgot 2 weeks ago already? But yeah, so – and also another thing. With this game, I hate watching the kickoff and looking and seeing so many empty seats and people like – it's like 10 after and people are like, what row is it? You know, like, are you in my seat? I'm like, bro, this is row 25, dude. Put the beater down.
Ryan, cut this out. We're going to broadcast it and put this out there. Leave the tailgate at 10:30. Leave the tailgate at 10:30, go into the stadium. Leave the tailgate at 10:30, go into the stadium. Like, that's all there is. 10:30 a.m., set an alarm, get your ass out of there and go to the stadium.
Be loud, right, Kev? Be loud.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some orange towels on seats. Like, I would hope we have something special for this. This is big. This is the biggest game. Like from an eyeball standpoint since the 2000 Michigan game, in my opinion, this is the biggest game for what it means for Illinois since 1990 against Iowa when Nick Bell ran all over us. Now, granted, we lost both those games. We got to bring it. So,
yeah, time to reverse the fortunes. And no one's going to pick Illinois, and Illinois knows that. And again, that should bring a little bit of chip, just like the USC game. Remember that.
I'm going to reach out to Robert Rosenthal and tell him, crank up the sirens at 10:30 on the fire truck, and that means everybody gets their happy ass in the stadium.
Yeah, that could be an alert for real.
I'm dead serious.
And you know that Big Noon's going to be ingrained, so you know that Dave Portnoy is going to be walking around lot 31. Hopefully, he makes another visit over to the the fire truck. So, yeah all right. And that'll do her for today's episode. We really appreciate it. And our new thing, man, we're going to be leaving you playing our song just because it's just amazing and awesome. We love it. So anything else, Kev, before we head and trickle this into Fade the Deuce Wednesday night? Anything else, Kev?
Nah, man. We'll be good to go, brother.
All right. I'll be jumping on a Ohio State podcast tomorrow night to be previewing Illinois. I won't be giving them too much good stuff. I won't be giving them all the goodies, but I will be repping the Illini and making sure, although all the Buckeye fans know
Hey,
This
Forrest,
is
I was there too, by the way, buddy. So
the Illini fans, and this is going to be the best offense that Ohio State plays, and it so far, and it will be the best defense Illinois plays all year. So,
no doubt about that.
that said, Swami out.
ILL.
I. Enjoy the music.
Ryan and Kevin, they're spitting the truth. Keeping it real, keeping it orange and blue. Yeah, talk that. Orange and light. Party. Orange and light. Yeah. Ryan and Kevin, they're spitting the truth. Keeping it real, keeping it orange and blue. Talking recruit. Who's next in line? Line our pride. It's about that time. Orange and blue. Yeah, that's how we do. Post-game vibes, breaking it through. Ryan and Kevin, the crew that you knew. Keeping it fresh, keeping it orange and blue. From the court to the field, every play, every step. Debating the cause where the game is at. Who's rising, who's falling, who's making the cut. Line 9 for life, never stuck in the rut. Okay, recruiting buzzer got the inside line. Post-game chatter, they're always on time. Breaking it down, they're the voices you trust. Orange and blue, yeah, they repping for us. Orange and blue, yeah, that's how we do. Post-game vibes, breaking it through. Ryan and Kevin, the crew that you knew. Keeping it fresh, keeping it orange and blue, yeah. So tune in, lean back, let the wisdom flow. Ryan and Kevin with the knowledge they throw. Line 9 Nation, this one's for you. Forever proud, keeping it orange and blue, yeah. Orange and blue, orange and blue, yeah. Orange and blue,